Hey Jared, how's it going? I'm just sitting in my classroom. Why is that perfect? You have a new app and it's really cool. Okay, but how am I going to use it? Of course you don't know. All right, I'll tell you what, you think about it, and when you get a good thought, you give me a call back. It's just like Jared to call up and be mesmerized by a shiny bauble, in this case, some cool app. And that can be a lot of fun. Like, I love to search in the app store and see what's the newest thing and the hottest little trend going on. But when it comes to designing instruction for my classroom, I really want to think about what the students want, what I want the students to know and do first before I decide that's an app that might be appropriate for me. Let's take a look. Have you ever walked the exhibit floor at a conference? What you'll find is lots of vendors who are trying to sell you something. This something usually will help students learn better, but it might not necessarily fit into your classroom. And while the vendors are an important part and a valuable part of that community, I want to suggest that you think about how you design your normal instruction. I use a backwards design approach. And this means that I think about what are the goals for my students first before I select whatever materials I might have for them. So I would begin by asking myself a curricularly-based question and then going and looking for an answer to that question. For example, how can students use the iPad to collect data? This is important to me because I want my students to understand that the iPad can be used for more than just research, and measuring is really important in science, and I can do a lot with that. So I might use a vernier caliper app that would allow me to make distance measurements right on the screen. Another way is to use the onboard sensors, such as the magnetic field sensor, in order to measure the magnetic field strength of a magnet. Now, if we consider a different question, how can students make a presentation of information, audio, images, and drawings? And this is important to me so they can communicate their understanding of a concept. In this case, I would choose EduCreations. But you could also choose something like Explain Everything or Docery, and there are lots of other apps in the store that will allow students to be able to communicate in the same way. It's a matter of finding the features that fit you and your students most comfortably and then going with that app. So there's no wrong answer, but the question is what must come first. So with the thousands and thousands of apps available in the store, sometimes you have to search more than just the education store. If you think about like marking up video, you would want to probably look in for athletics and coaching because those are the types of people that would use that type of app. But the key is to start with that question and then go looking for what matches what you need. Jared again. You can't possibly have two good ideas in a day. Hey Jared, how's it going? Wait, now did you watch the video? So you now know that you're supposed to ask a question first before you pick on an app that you want to use. Oh, you do have a question. How can you have students keep track of their work? I'm glad you asked that question. I have an app for that. And I'll get right back to you. Yeah, I'll send it over. So hopefully you had a chance to take a look and see that the best way to make decisions as to what you're going to use in your classroom is going to be based off of a backwards design approach that will allow you to figure out what you want your students to be able to know and do first, and then you can go look for the right tool for the right job.